Hey babe, it's only been 2 days since my last video, but a lot has changed. Last time I recorded a video, I was in my hotel room after Susan left, and I wasn't quite sure what the plan was. I had to check out of the hotel and then figure out, am I going to stay here? Am I going to go somewhere else? Am I going to go back to the city, even though technically I still have 6 days before my apartment is booked? So I really didn't know what to do. Ended up going back to a hostel where we stayed the first night, thinking, okay, I might book a night here while I figure things out. For now, I'll just leave my luggage here and try to decide what my next move is. Ironically, while I was there waiting to put my luggage, I run into a guy that I went on, or that I met rather. Well, I didn't really meet him. I said like 3 words to him or whatever when we were on the shuttle to go to Yaksha, one of the Mayan ruins. But anyway, ran into each other there, and he's like, "Oh, what are you up to?" I'm like, "I have absolutely no idea. What about you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm thinking maybe of going to this like natural park thing nearby. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Sure. I have nothing else to do. Why not?" So we ended up going, and in the beginning, like it was a whole like rope bridge and like stone path through the forest and everything. And in the beginning, we're like, okay, we haven't seen any animals, even though she's like, oh, there's birds and toucans and monkeys and stuff. And we were just talking and walking along, and at some point, we're like, okay, we haven't seen anything yet. It would be nice to see something. And the moment and I'm like, oh, maybe we just need to ask for it. So he's like, oh, I wish we would see something. And then, like, a bird just flies by. I'm like, huh. I'm like, okay, where are the monkeys? And then we just went like, I don't know, a minute, two max. Then we start hearing noises in the trees, and we're like, huh, okay. And then we keep waiting, we keep trying to catch glimpses, and at some point we're like, oh damn, that's a monkey. And then he starts coming closer and closer, and there's another one, and another one. And like it gets to the point where at some point there's 7 monkeys in the trees right next to us. We took like a bunch of pictures and videos, and the closest they got was about 10 feet from us. And those were like wild monkeys. So we're just like, okay, what else should we ask for? So I'm like, all right, what do you want to see next? He's like, I want to see toucans. So I'm like, okay, cool. I want to have like $1 million fall from the sky. Unfortunately, we never saw the toucans, and since I was second in line and third in line was the money, I never got my money. Anyway, that was a really fun, unexpected outing, but by the time we go back, I still have no clue what my plan is. And by then it's getting pretty late, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to put a 60-minute timer, and when the alarm goes off, I'm going to know what I'm supposed to do. So what I said is, or what I did is put the intention out in the universe of, all right, by the time the alarm goes off, there's going to be a sign or some sort of inner knowing, I don't know, but I'm going to know what to do by then. Unfortunately, time the timer went off, still had absolutely no clue. But for some reason inside it's like, well, I should probably just go check with the travel agency just to see like if they have a bus to the city for now. Because I'm like, I don't really feel like going somewhere else because that's an extra day like wasted in a shuttle. Plus, I don't really have anywhere specific that I want to go or anything specific that I want to do. And the only thing holding me back from going to the city is the fact that my apartment is booked for the 15th and I have a period of 6 days where I don't really know what to do. So I'm like, let's just go see the travel agency, see how much it is, see when it is. So I go check, but of course they're trying to charge me more. So I ended up going for a walk to the bus station, thinking like, okay, I'll just go, see if anything happens on the way there, some sort of sign. And ironically, I'm walking along, I happen to walk under a tree, and a bird poops on me. And of all the places he decides to poop on me, he poops on my crotch. So I have like toilet paper in my backpack, so I'm able to like clean it, but it's still kind of stained, so it looks like I either peed or pooped the front of my pants. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. I wonder what this means. But because it wasn't really clear, I'm like, oh, I'll just keep going. So I keep going, end up at the bus station, ask the guy like, hey, how much is it? So obviously it was way cheaper than it was at the travel agency. And then I'm like, well, I don't really know what to do, so let's just buy the ticket. And the thing is, it was 7 when I bought the ticket, and when Susan left the previous night, She left at 9:30, so I just assumed it was the same time. So I'm like, oh, I have like 2.5 hours, go back, get my luggage, chill, grab something to eat if I want, fill my water bottle, do all those amazing things. So I buy the ticket. Then I look at the ticket when I receive it. I'm like, oh crap, it leaves at 7:15. It's 7:03. So I asked the guy, like, is there no later bus? He's like, nope, that's the last one. So I'm like, crap. So I just rush out, jump into a tuk-tuk. I'm like, take me back to the hostel. So rush back to the hostel, grab my bag, leave the 20 quetzales that I borrowed from the guy because we bought street food and they didn't have change and all I had was hundreds. So leave the change at the front desk for the guy, rush back out to the tuk-tuk, rush back to the bus station. By the time I get there, it's almost 7:20, so technically the bus should already have left. But I look outside and I can still see it there. So I'm like, all right, this is Guatemala. Things are usually pretty late, so I'm gonna risk going to the bathroom because I don't want to be stuck having to pee all night. And I wasn't 100% sure if there would be a toilet on the bus. Second of all, I'm gonna fill my water bottle because it would suck being thirsty all night long. So go to the bathroom, fill up my water bottle, do my business, and head out and make it onto the bus. And that's one of the good things of being in Latin America is that things are almost never on time. So I did miss my bus and everything was great, but it's just like the timing of like I buy the ticket, crap, I have 15 minutes, rush back, grab everything. It's like I got everything I had to do done and had time to get on. And it's just like no time to waste. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that means or the significance of the bird pooping on me or if there is even one and I'm trying to find significance where there is none. But I pretty much spent the entire night. So we left at 7:30 and got in Guatemala City at around 4:30 in the morning. And ironically, when I was on the bus, I'm like, okay, I'm on the bus to the city. I have no place to stay. Let's go on Airbnb and book book an apartment. And by the way, this is where I am right now in this apartment. You can't really see that well in the background because it's dark, but it's actually a really nice place. Little more expensive than I would have liked, but it's life. It's not $100 that's gonna make or break me at this point. So yeah, we got here at 4:30, and I managed to get the check-in time moved forward to 8:30 a.m. rather than the usual 3 p.m. But I still had 4 hours to kill when I got here. So first hour is spent just waiting in line to go to the bathroom to change and put pants on because by then it's getting pretty chilly in the middle of the night. And then I sit on the park bench outside at the bus station and just kind of go through the pictures and videos I took in the last week because I spent all my time with Susan, so I never had the time to go through and delete all the crappy ones. So did that. So wasted about an hour there and it's starting to get cold and at some point I'm like, wait, why am I here? There has to be restaurants somewhere open 24/7. So I Google, find a McDonald's nearby, go there. Obviously the restaurant is closed. Not just closed, as in it doesn't exist anymore. Find another one, which is supposed to be open, but it's not. Luckily, it opened about 5-10 minutes later, so I just chilled out for a while there, then went inside, grabbed a little food to eat, and spent the next few hours just watching YouTube on my phone. Then by the time it gets to 8:30, so I go here, check into the room and everything. The only downside is the elevator key card is supposed to be inside the apartment, but it's not for some reason. So message the person who's like the owner, then take a nap because I'm exhausted. I barely slept on the bus. And then finally, when I wake up, text her again, managed to get the key card. Everything's great. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to go do some shopping. So go buy some food, come back, drop it off, go buy some other food like fresh produce at a local farmer's market, come back. The code doesn't work for the door for some reason. I'm like, okay. So try it a bunch of times, doesn't work. Go down to the front desk to try, or actually message the girl on the Airbnb app, wait a bit for her to respond. She doesn't respond, so I go down to the front desk. The guy's like, there's nothing I can do, but he calls her. Eventually, someone shows up to unlock the door, and turns out I had the wrong code. I don't know why I had the wrong code or why the wrong code worked the first few times I tried it, but at least now I have the correct code and everything has worked out. Took a nap, managed to rest, so now it's the second day. And my plan for today is to set up Okay, I think I mentioned this in one of the previous videos, but I just want to give a quick update. So I met a guy in one of the hostels, and what he does is talks to people on his computer all day to help them practice English. So he doesn't teach them English. He just speaks with them so they can practice. And he works 4 to 5 hours a day and makes 15 to 20 bucks US an hour. I'm like, okay. He gave me tips and suggestions on how I can set that up. That's one of the reasons why I'm here for this month. So let's set that up today. So that is my goal for today. Anyway, this is a longer video than I was expecting given how not that much happened in the last few days, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I'm going to end things here. Thank you for being here and check back in later.